welcome to the first episode of the Tooncast. 4 guys who love tunes just wanting to have some fun. My name is Mr. Shadly. I am the host of this podcast. This is Gav, this is Cam, and this is ConsoleCommander. And what this podcast is going to be us 4 just sitting and talking about our favorite things, and that is cartoons, animation, anything ranging from 80s to 90s to early 2000s to stuff of today. So to get the show started, every episode is going to start with a top 10 list, and we thought it would be a good idea just to whip out the top 10 best cartoons, our personal favorite cartoons of all time. I will start with my number 10. We're going to have a top 10 on each episode relating to the episode's topic. But since this is the introduction episode, I decided to just make it our personal top 10 favorites. I will go first. My number 10 favorite cartoon of all time is Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Oh wait, we're going for number 10 first? Number 10 is supposed to be my favorite?
Number 10's the...
What? Yeah, right. That's what he just said.
No.
My number 1 was my favorite.
My number 10. My number 10 on my favorite cartoons of all time is Ed, Edd and Eddy, which aired on Cartoon Network. The show about 3 boys, all named Ed, that tried to scam the kids in the neighborhood into getting quarters for jawbreakers. I personally thought this show was always just really funny and witty. It was a really good old show in general. My favorite episode is probably, I have to share the same opinion with Pan Pizza, Dawn of the Eds, episode where they can't go see the movie because it is rated for adults only, so they recreate what they think the movie was about.
Yeah, I think it was sick Plank.
It was
Plank is probably the greatest character in that show.
We will go for Gav next. Gav, go ahead. What is your number 10?
Okay, my number 10 is Wacky Races. I always liked watching it, like in the mornings, like before school, it'd always be on. Just have like a nice bowl of cereal, just chilling out.
Fantastic pick.
Yeah. I mean, the episode structure is basically the same thing every time, but that's kind of what makes it a classic.
Who was your favorite Wacky Racer?
Oh. Dang, that's a hard question.
If you can remember, I know it's probably...
Yeah, I don't even...
Yeah.
I know, I mean, probably... What's the villain's name?
Dick Dastardly.
Yeah.
Dick Dastardly.
That
Can't
guy's...
go wrong. You can't go wrong with him.
Don't say anything, Cam.
That's right. All right, we'll go over ConsoleCommander. What is your number 10?
My number 10 was SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
And I'm going to have to preface that with my list isn't in order. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to put in my top 10 in order, so I just threw SpongeBob in there.
That's fair, so you're kind of just, you really couldn't pick a number 1. You just love it all.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's understandable.
I went with SpongeBob because, that's just a classic.
Yep. What is your favorite SpongeBob episode?
I really like the classic where it's him using the reef blower.
Oh, the reef blower. That's a good one.
Dragons is gotta be my
Dungeons and Dragons. I am a fan of Club SpongeBob, the Magic Carpet.
Wait. What's the one where they use the sentence enhancers?
Oh, Sailor Mouth. That's a good one.
It's a sentence enhancers.
Gat, what about you? Favorite SpongeBob episode?
Oh, dang. I think it's called The Revenge of the Krabby Patty or something like that. Where he makes the monster patty.
Oh, yeah, and he takes it on a date.
Yeah. All right. We will now go to Cam. What is your number 10?
It's maybe a surprise, but I really enjoy Clarence.
Clarence
is a good show. It's a great slice of life show about 3 friends. I don't even know why it's so funny. It's a great show. I loved it.
Yeah, it's like a potato.
I like the pilot when he's like, and the surprise is beans.
I like these. I like the episode where he takes Jeff's fries and they're Chuck E. Cheese and they're going through the ball pit. He's like, "That's my fries." All right, I will go to my number 9. My number 9. I wanted to put it lower, but I had some other shows that I thought were a little better than it. Regular Show being my number 9. I mean, if you don't know what regular show is, you're living under a rock. Regular show follows 2 park workers, Mordecai and Rigby, and all kinds of weird stuff happens. Each episode kind of felt fresh, it felt original. I mean, it would start out just Mordecai and Rigby, probably wanting to do something, whether it be raking leaves, mowing the lawn, and then later on in the episode, a gigantic monster would come and almost
Did you ever
destroy
see
you.
Quintella's new show?
The adult one.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
It hasn't came out yet.
Yeah.
I don't think
What's
they
it
had.
called?
I'd have to look. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a show about this this couple that have a kid and they're just trying to get through normal life.
It's like
It's-
a cartoon.
Yeah, but they haven't released it yet. Regular show being my number 9. I always last year, 2 years ago, got its finale, and I thought the finale really just capped the show off perfectly.
I think the really cool thing about regular show too was it followed not many cartoons actually follow a coherent storyline either, and it actually things
Yeah.
kept going on
That's
through
a
the show. The
fantastic
more
point.
episodes they added.
That's a fantastic point. Gav, we will go to you. What is your number 9?
Number 9, probably Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy, what? No, it's fine.
Gene Estevez.
Dude, he's right
All
here.
right. Favorite Jimmy Neutron invention.
Invention.
Or
I kind of want to. I'd like to talk about favorite episode.
favorite episode.
It's not okay. It's the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour thing.
Oh, that's a
So,
solid
it's a good
pick.
one.
Yeah, I always enjoyed that.
Yeah, what about you,
On
Cam?
TV.
Favorite Jimmy Neutron episode?
I wasn't really a big Jimmy Neutron fan as a kid.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I did play a lot of the games like Attack of the Toy Bots.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
But
Nolan, do you have a favorite?
Like I said, since that was one of the earlier ones, I didn't really get to watch it that much because I didn't have cable around that point. But
Yeah.
I can't remember which episode it was. I think it might have been a movie. It was the one where all the adults get taken
Oh,
and they
yeah,
have to
it's
get
the movie.
That's the movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, no, that's the one I
That's a
watched.
good
'cause,
movie.
My parents had that on VHS whenever I was younger, so I remember watching
That's
that
a
all the
good
time.
pick.
think
It's a
Machine
pretty
is
cool
the better
episode because, I don't know, a lot of kids, I feel I thought, oh, it'd be so cool if, all the parents just disappeared and we could do whatever we want, but
I always thought when they were building the amusement park rides into spaceships, I always thought that was sweet.
that was
I thought that was sweet. My favorite episode of Jimmy Neutron is the End-Men, the one where they all turn into the Avengers. And it's
What-
The End Men.
Hey, what's the toy that Sheen carries around?
oh, Ultra Lord.
Ultra
Ultra Lord.
I think Planet Sheen was the better show.
Cameron.
Sheen, this is the 6th time you've showed this
Ultra Lord in the show and tell. Cameron, number 9.
Amazing World of Gumball.
Amazing World of Gumball.
Sad.
That's
Coming
a
to an
classic.
Still on.
Always
Well,
enjoyed
no,
it.
but still though.
Yeah.
Honestly, most of the cartoons that came from the Cartoon Network, Renaissance of 2010, are on this list.
Yeah.
It's probably
I
one of my least favorite out of the 3 or
Yeah,
4.
you're thinking of the main 3.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Who's your favorite Gumball character?
Oh,
the dad's legit.
Yeah, the dad's my
I
Richard.
forget what his name is.
Richard.
Richard.
Richard Watterson.
Richard.
100%.
Who's the guy who works literally everywhere?
Oh, the weird shaped head guy. Oh man, is it Lenny?
Lenny.
I do like him. He's funny. What about you, Nolan? Do you have a favorite Gumball character?
My favorite Gumball character was probably the banana because he just got messed up every show.
Yeah.
Every episode, he would either get stepped on or he would get the entirety of his banana juices would be removed from him.
Nolan. What is your number 9?
My number 9 is Brack.
Brack.
Brack Show.
The Brack Show.
Yeah, the Brack. Have you never seen Brack?
Oh man, Brack's funny.
Yeah, no.
What's it about?
Good. Nolan.
That's a really hard question to answer because it's more or less just about we were talking about regular show and it's about a family that's trying to go through their normal lives. It's kind of like that, except
Yeah.
it's this dad who's a mad scientist basically with his wife, and they have a kid named Brack, and
Okay.
he's this weird tiger thing.
Yeah.
And it was on Adult Swim, and they had what was the mantis's name?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Zorok.
Are they
Yeah.
on Space Coast, Coast to Coast?
yeah, that's where he originated. I
Okay.
think it's where he originated from.
Yeah, but the episodes were always just because Brack's an idiot. And,
Yeah,
and
Brack's
Zorok
dumb.
would always try to get him to do really messed up evil stuff
Yeah.
during the
But
episodes.
he would fail completely.
Yeah, no, but I remember whenever I was younger and I would always carry around a PSP with me, and I always had one song on my PSP that I would listen to all the time, and that was Brack singing, "Yeah, buddy."
yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, I'm gonna go to my number 8. My number 8 is Gravity Falls. My number 8 is Gravity Falls. I thought Gravity Falls was I really like the show where it keeps you thinking about what's going on within the show. Stuff like how all kinds of like mysteries going on in Gravity Falls.
Yeah. I haven't actually watched too much Gravity Falls, to be
I
honest.
think you should. If you like a show that really keeps you thinking, really keeps you on your toes, I think Gravity Falls is a perfect.
I wasn't
example
really
of
a
that.
Disney kid, or really into Disney.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's probably one of the big shows that put Disney on the map for cartoons.
And Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb too, 100%. You guys haven't done too much Gravity Falls, so I won't do favorite character episode. Let's go to Gab with his number 8.
Invader Zim.
Invader Zim. There we go.
That show was wild.
It was a wild show.
I'm gonna go for and favorite Invader Zim episode.
I don't really know.
You don't know?
It's been so long since I watched it. But just I don't know. It had like this weird, creepy vibe to it almost. Like just every single episode like mentally scarred me as a child. But I kept watching.
It was kind of like Courage the Cowardly Dog in that one.
Kinda. Yeah.
It was Nick's courage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Except the
I mean, they definitely kept their stuff a lot less like if you think about it, it was like a lot of like Cartoon Network stuff was like edgy for their time.
Disturbing.
Whereas like Nick was always like real happy and fun.
Yeah, but Zim took that, just flipped it completely upside down. The episode where he
I liked it so much. It was like something different.
Yeah, it's the episode where he befriends the kid at the end of the episode. He gets him a present, and the present's robot arms. It removes the kid's eyes and then replaces them with robot eyes.
That's insane.
That got me pretty bad as a kid. Cam, let's go to your number 8.
Okay, throwing in some adult animation. It's a two-way tie. I enjoy South Park and American Dad.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay.
I was debating throwing Family Guy in there, but I would have got a lot of hate for it.
I wouldn't. Family Guy would probably be
I was
in my
thinking
top
about
10
putting
least.
that on my list because I used to watch it so much.
It's the one thing that like me and my dad really bonded over, like adult. Like when I was younger, my mom hated me watching these shows, but my dad would be like the cool one. He'd be like, "Hey, let's watch some American Dad. Let's watch some South Park.
Yeah.
Let's watch some Family Guy."
I used to record it like on our DVR. I'd get up for school at like 4:30 in the morning before anyone else got up, just so I could like watch it without getting in trouble.
Cameron, favorite South Park episode?
Okay. I'm gonna say this now. I do not like the PC Principal era.
Okay, that's fair.
I like the one where it's all Cartman sings a song about all the minorities in his water park.
Oh, he takes over the water park. That's a good one. Gab, do you have a favorite?
I don't think I could choose a
Buster
favorite.
one.
Cartman gets an anal probe.
The very first one.
Yeah.
Mine's a two-way tie between Make Love Not Warcraft.
Is that with the fat guy? Like,
the
I like
Warcraft
the,
episode.
The Xbox versus PS4.
That's a good
like
the Black Friday.
Black Friday one.
Yeah, and the one where Cartman dresses up as Doug the Bounty Hunter. Because the teacher and Ike are having an affair. Do you have a favorite episode?
Who took Dookie in the urinal?
Good.
Who ended up being? It was
Stan. It was Stan.
Yeah.
It was
Because
Stan.
he wanted to go out for recess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I always thought was weird is, like, as the episodes went on, like, because wasn't it each season they went up a grade?
No.
No, they
They only went up one grade.
They went up one grade. They went to 4th grade, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that was pretty early on in the series.
Yeah,
too.
they haven't gone outside of it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
5th graders.
I like
There were 20 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're up there, like 21 or 2. I'm pretty sure they're at right now.
Wendy Tessberger beats a crap out of Cartman.
Nolan, we are going to go to you for your number 8 pick.
Okay, my number 8 pick is Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
There we go. That's a good one. I'll give you something that...
Okay, so speaking about like how I bonded with my dad over the last show, me and my mom really enjoyed this
Foster's.
Yeah, my mom loved that show too, actually.
Foster's
Like,
is good.
Except I hated the one episode that They get the new imaginary friend who
Bendy.
Bendy.
That's like everyone's least favorite.
I think it's even the creator's least favorite.
Yeah, it's Craig McCracken's least favorite, and writer Lauren Faust's least favorite. That's an awful episode. Favorite imaginary friend?
I'm either gonna have to go with Wilt
Wilt's cool.
or Cheese, because Cheese is just a classic.
Cheese. I'm gonna go for Eduardo. Love Eduardo. Big bird-looking guy, but deep down he's just
Coco.
Coco, you like Coco? Coco, your favorite. Oh, that's good,
Do you
guy.
guys remember the episode whenever what was the kid's name?
Max.
Yeah, do you remember whenever he got his brother got the imaginary friend Red?
Oh,
Do you remember that
His
episode?
brother.
Yeah,
No.
and
His
Red
brother's
just
a
shows up
douche.
and beats the crap out of all the other imaginary friends,
Yeah.
and he's just a square.
Who's your favorite imaginary
I
friend?
think it was the first episode where that like the big black like chain big monster one.
Oh, I can't remember that.
Like I don't know, as a kid, like I don't know, they just had it chained up or like caged in a big thing and everyone was scared of
Was
it.
it like in the junkyard? Like
Oh, you know what? I think I do know who you're talking about because they had a
It
game.
was like the first episode.
They had a game on Cartoon Network's website that was like I think was supposed to be stylized as like Pac-Man or something. I can't remember, but the main premises of the game was to try not to get caught by the black monster.
The black creatures.
Black creatures.
Yeah.
To quote my personal hero, Shadow the Hedgehog, "Ugh, disgusting black creatures." I'm gonna go to my number 7. My number 7 is is another show I wish I probably could have put lower, but I did not. Adventure Time. Adventure Time.
low?
I did put it that low.
Really?
Really?
I had
Yeah.
some shows that I just liked a little bit more, but Adventure Time really introduced me to the CN Renaissance.
yeah.
I just thought that it was such a quality show. I mean, it also just got its ending last year. It felt good to see it get such a good goodbye response.
Nice wrap up.
A nice wrap up. My favorite character, Marceline, she was just a complete storybook in herself. She had so much story with her, and she was just a good character.
I think the cool thing about that show, like just how I was saying, how regular show does their thing with like how all the characters have all their
and there was
background stuff.
a
Yeah.
good story.
There was so much lore to like all of the characters
Yeah.
and everything.
That's what made it good.
Like my favorite episode from Adventure Time was definitely the episode whenever it was Marceline and Ice King, and it was them.
Any of those
It was them right after the war.
I
Any of
swear,
those episodes.
I almost
don't-
cried during that
I think
episode.
I did cry.
Just like the one where they had Finn and like whenever it was like Finn's backstory
Mhm.
about how he became who he was.
Card Wars.
Yeah, that's how.
Card Wars is
Card
my
Wars.
favorite
Didn't they
episode.
have a game on like iOS?
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
sure.
still there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got
Or,
re-download
it was
that.
either Card Wars for me or the one where Jake makes the perfect sandwich. And
Oh, yeah.
I like
wanted
that
that
episode where like they try to do like the best high five or like the longest high five,
Yeah,
and like at the end they catapult like from opposite sides of the world and just.
I really liked the Party Bear episode too. I think that was a
Oh yeah,
funny one.
they were stuck in the. They were stuck in. Wasn't it like some sort of giant like.
Giant's like stomach, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wrap up Adventure Time. We're gonna go to you, Gav.
We're at 7?
Yep.
Okay. Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack. I cannot.
I didn't
believe
actually
forgot
watch
about
the new
that.
season of it.
So
I didn't
good.
either.
So
I'm talking
good.
about like
Good.
you know.
You gotta
like
watch it.
nostalgia, like
Jump
whenever
Cut.
you used to watch it.
Yeah.
Jump good. Jump good. Jump good.
Honestly, like I don't remember a whole lot about the show because it's been so long. But I just remember being little and just like staying up late. Like I think it was like 11 o'clock. It aired on Boomerang, and
I thought Aku was such a cool villain. Like I
Yeah.
thought Aku, like he was like super evil, but
he'd have
was,
moments of, like,
funny.
yeah.
Funny.
Can we please get an F in chat for the Scotsman?
Oh,
Oh, big F. Spoiler alert on that for anyone who hasn't seen the latest season of Samurai Jack. But
Leave it
Scotsman gets like
can we bring
one
up
shot
the
by
old meme
Aku.
of Aku ordering like pizza?
Extra thick. We're going to go to Cam now for his number 7 pick.
Oh, you already know who it is. It's Aqua Teen Do it. Shake Zula, the Mike Ruler, the old schooler.
You want to trick? I bring it to
Too
you.
bad that's like the only part of the theme song I know. Aqua Teen just like pinnacle, I think, of adult cartoons for me.
It's so good.
It was so funny. Carl always made me laugh. I like the way they ended it too, to be honest.
I never saw the ending.
I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say
When'd you start watching it?
when I started watching it,
Yeah.
I had to have been like 6 or 7 when I watched it. Because
It's a perfect age for that.
listen,
Honestly.
I would wake up in like the middle of the night. And
Same here.
Robot Chicken was the show for me that I did that. Like, I'd wake up at like, I'd stay up till like midnight and I'd be like, oh man, Robot Chicken's on. But
Better, like,
That was always like the first thing that came on whenever Adult Swim switched over too.
oh, they did they always did like this Family Guy and stuff like that too.
Family Guy.
Family Guy.
Hello.
Hey Lois, remember the time I was on the Tooncast?
That's a pretty good laugh.
We're gonna go to you for your number 7.
Okay, so I actually forgot about this one, and since he already did his number 7 was Aqua Teen Hunger Force, that was going to be mine, but I forgot about this one because we were talking about how edgy Cartoon Network was.
Yeah.
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Grim Adventures.
Oh my God, yes.
I respect that.
Billy was the best. I loved Billy.
No, Billy's dad.
Billy's dad. Yeah.
Do you remember the episode whenever Billy's dad was picking his nose and pulled his brain out and ate it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I like the episode where Billy turns into the chocolate and he eats his head, and the guy's like, "We have 4 flavors here," and he was like, "Caramel, chocolate, hazelnut, and antidote." And he has to find the antidote, and then Billy eats all 4 of them and explodes. I love
The
that.
thing about that too is that's like a spin-off of The Chocolate Touch, like the book.
What?
Like whenever everything that he touches turns to chocolate.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And I also liked the one where Billy brought Fred Flintstone in for show and tell, and then he escapes out of the cage and he has like he gets like messed up in the head because of all the stuff in the present, and he's like, "Yabba dabba," and he just like runs away with the teacher.
There was the. Do you guys remember the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy beat 'em up game that they came out with?
Yeah, Weird Al Yankovic was the announcer for that game. That's a fun one.
I haven't played it, but I've always wanted to.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I'm going to go ahead and go on to my number 6. And see, we're getting down to the point in my list where it's like, man, this is just really hard to choose between because of the fact that I love all these shows. Hey Arnold's my number 6.
Never watched. I've only ever seen the opening.
I own the whole series on DVD.
Did you get that?
Yeah,
Oh man,
it
I'm
was
thinking
really-
about that. It's like $40 for the whole thing.
Listen, I can watch every episode again.
Look,
It's just so nostalgic.
Hey Arnold was just a show that really could do no wrong. It just was really good. I mean, who cannot talk about Hey Arnold's Christmas special?
Isn't that the one where they have to get the shoes?
Mr. Wynn's daughter. That
Yeah.
one. Yeah, that was such a good one. I really liked, Stoop Kid, my favorite episode of Hey Arnold. Arnold being just like your everyday average kid, and he just, it wasn't a show that relied on, like the physics of a cartoon. Like you never,
Slice of life.
yeah, you'd never see Arnold like stretch his arm out to grab something or stuff like that. Like Arnold just revolved around normal people.
It's definitely like a contrast to SpongeBob. In
Yeah,
that sense.
normal people and everyday situations. The movie was good. The Jungle movie
I did
came
not
out.
see the Jungle movie yet.
Jungle movie was really good. Kind of tied up a lot of stuff. I thought it was really good. Arnold was just a gem of a show. Definitely my favorite thing to come out of 90s Nick.
I mean, I've never heard a bad thing about Hey Arnold.
The only episode that Arnold had that I could say was probably really, really bad is an episode called Arnold Betrays Iggy. And it's an episode about Iggy, who's like the coolest kid at school, and Arnold catches him wearing bunny pajamas. And Arnold promises Iggy that he won't tell anybody, and Sid and Stinky find out, and they tell everybody.
How'd they find out?
They guess it. Like, it was real stupid. They were just like, "Oh, what happened? Did you find him sitting on his couch wearing bunny pajamas?"
Yeah.
And Arnold's like, "Oh, maybe." And at the end of the episode, Iggy forces Arnold to get into bunny pajamas and walk out to the street.
I think I've seen
front of
pictures of
everybody.
that.
Awful episode. One of the really only bad things to come out of that show. It was just it was an episode that really just didn't go for what Hey Arnold was usually all about, and that was just like cool, positive messages and characters.
Chocolate Kid.
Yeah, Chocolate Kid. I'm gonna go ahead and give it up to you, Gav, for your number 6.
Courage.
Courage.
Yep, that's mine too.
That's yours too.
Yeah.
And
top.
I'll let you guys both explain then.
Literally, the show freaked
was
me out as a kid, and I would have so many nightmares, but I couldn't stop watching it. It was literally the most enjoyable show.
The dodgeball episode was my favorite episode, where Eustace gets all of the Courage villains together and they play dodgeball.
Oh,
What about the one where...
the Flam, or what is it? Oh my gosh. The episode where it's like this gelatin stuff, like food. What's it? Flan? Flan. It's Flan. that episode was...
a bad dog.
Oh, Fred the Barber. That's a creepy one. That is a creepy one.
There's also Cat. Cat was always good.
Cat was awesome. Ken, what about you?
Favorite episode?
Mm-hmm.
It was one of like the later episodes. I cannot remember the name. If it was in front of me, I could probably remember like the villain, I guess.
What was it about?
I just remember it was number 6 is really like before we get to the good stuff. I can't really remember the show because it's been years since I've watched it.
Yeah.
He like has like a dream in the middle of the night. He like wakes up on the bed. I cannot remember the episode. If it comes back to me, what?
Who has the dream?
Courage.
Oh, okay.
If it comes back to me like later in the list, I can probably tell you, but I honestly can't remember right now.
Yeah.
Alright, that's fair.
I could not sleep for nights after watching that. Like,
I didn't like it when they did like hyper realistic. Like
it was like hyper realistic like that.
That stuff really freaked me
Yeah,
out.
it's creepy. The guy returned to MU.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to give it up to ConsoleCommander for his number 6.
I have Super Jail as my number 6.
Super
I've never seen Super Jail.
I think I watched that a couple times.
Yeah, no,
Willy Wonka.
I didn't watch it much, but from whenever I watched it, I really enjoyed it because I just thought it was like so brutal, but in like its own comedic way, which I thought was awesome.
I always really
And the warden was just insane.
Yeah, the warden's nuts. I like Alice. Alice is my favorite. I love her.
Did the warden like wear the top hat and stuff?
Yeah, he looked like Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had Alice was what was her name? No, what was her name? What? Hey,
Here's our sailor.
Yeah.
I'd like to go with a real woman. I'm gonna go ahead and give up to my number 5. My number 5 is Steven Universe.
Okay.
I think Steven Universe, though I do have a couple of nitpicks about it, I think Steven Universe, as it's gone on, has really shown that it's a really good overarching story with all, the Rose Court stuff. The latest episode that I've watched, at least I haven't heard any news about any newer episodes coming out, really tied up a lot of loose ends, and a lot of really action-packed. It was really good.
It's like really emotional.
Yeah, I definitely liked that about the show, how it carried a lot of emotion with it. Because the main character, Steven, like, he really has, like it's messed up how his mom's gone and stuff.
Yeah, his mom did a lot of, because you watch it, you find out his mom does a lot of really messed up stuff, but he's got to accept that, because that's who he is. I really like, any time that Garnet's on screen, she's 100% my favorite character.
Oh, she's hilarious.
She just really takes the show. She'll just spout out something really just out of the blue, and it's always like usually really funny stuff. Ruby and Sapphire stuff's always really good too.
I always like. I mean, I'm probably alone on this, but I always liked whenever Pearl was like really prominent in an episode because like she's not understanding until like usually the end of the episode because then she really figures out like how messed up the way she was being was.
Pearl was my least favorite character when I first watched Steven Universe, and then as a lot of the stuff went on, like Mr. Greg came out, which is one of my personal favorite episodes, and she had the I can't remember the name of the song for some reason. She had the song at the end of that episode, and it really was like, okay, yep, I like Pearl now. I now understand what she's going through.
See, I was a Cartoon Network kid growing up, and still am, technically, but I haven't been able to see all these shows in a long time. I don't get Cartoon Network anymore, and I don't have the app, so I miss a lot of these good episodes and shows.
Yeah,
Especially the newer stuff.
Yeah.
I woke up one day, and it was just, like, I have Comcast, and I just turned it on, and it wasn't there. It said unauthorized, and I was just like, What's the problem?
Stink, you'll have to take care of that. But for right now, we're gonna get off of your personal problem.
Wow.
And we're gonna go to
cares, Ken.
First of all,
Okay.
losing Cartoon Network is the worst thing you can lose.
Honestly, yeah.
What's your number 5? I can agree with that.
SpongeBob.
It's like losing a
You
child.
picked out SpongeBob. We
Yeah.
already talked about SpongeBob, but
Number 5, SpongeBob.
his favorite SpongeBob character.
Character. I mean, probably SpongeBob.
The SpongeBob himself.
Yeah.
Beautiful Squidward.
Beautiful
Beautiful
Squidward.
Squidward. I
What
love.
about you, Cam?
I like the he was only like a character in certain shows, but like he was the one fish that he got caught like on a tricycle like a lollipop. He's like, it's not what it's not what it looks like.
Yeah, like
Or like whenever they show up, he's the same. They always use the same fish for that. Because like
Yeah.
whenever they showed up to deliver the Krusty Krab pizza,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was like, "It's cold."
chocolate.
chocolate. My favorite character is always a 3-way tie. I can never choose between. I really like Patrick.
Patrick.
I really like Squidward, and I really like Patchy the Pirate.
Yeah.
Patchy the Pirate's always just really consistently funny whenever he
Shows up.
shows up.
What about the Flying Dutchman though?
Flying Dutchman's cool. I like Flying Dutchman.
Did we do favorite episodes?
Yeah, we did favorite episodes. For SpongeBob.
I probably would say
Another
the
favorite
movie's
episode?
like my favorite.
I love the
SpongeBob
movie.
thing. Like first.
What was going on with the second one they made? Like one that was all animation whenever they came on, all
The second one was
CGI.
good.
I did
I
not
didn't
like
watch
CGI.
The second one was good. It kind of just followed. There's this dude up on the surface. I think
Taste the recipe.
he finds the secret Krabby Patty formula, and he's making burgers. And so SpongeBob and everyone has to go up.
How do they
to
get their superpowers again? Like, don't they get like?
I can't remember. I saw it in theaters, but I have it on DVD. I'll have to
I did
rewatch
not
it
like the
again.
movie. It was just wasn't my thing.
The first
CGI
one,
turns me
the
off.
second one.
I don't like anything.
Dual
CGI,
grease
really.
trap fries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. I do like the movie. The movie's a classic.
Mhm.
I'm going to give it up to Cam for his number 5.
Number 5, we already talked about it. It's Foster's Home for Imaginary.
Foster's Home.
Okay.
I can agree with that. I think Foster's, like you guys have
It's a
already
solid
said,
show.
it was just,
Craig
it was just
McCracken
good.
really made some
Craig McCracken really did make some pretty good ones. He made Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls.
I mean, I really wasn't a big Powerpuff Girls fan. I don't know. I mean, speaking of creepy stuff in it, though, who was the demon crossdresser? Him?
Him. Yep.
Yeah, no, he always creeped me out whenever I was a kid.
Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, Craig McCracken did Powerpuff. He did Foster's. He did. You ever see Wander Over Yonder?
I did not see
I've
that.
heard of it. I haven't
Yeah,
watched it.
Wander Over Yonder is good. He made that too. I'd have to really look and see what else he's done. Did you know that the pilot for Powerpuff Girls was called Whoop Ass Stew?
No.
Craig McCracken made it up. That was the original name. The real pilot name for Powerpuff Girls was Whoop Ass Stew. And it would have been funny if it would have aired on Cartoon Network under that name. All right, we're gonna give it up to you.
All right, so we're going with my number 5.
Number 5,
Star Wars Clone Wars.
Star Wars: The Clone Wars. All right,
Yeah.
That's solid. I used to
Yeah.
watch that a lot too.
Gendy Tarkovsky. Yep, he did that.
No, it was. I mean, the timeline was so jumbled whenever you watched it, which was
Yeah.
pretty crap. But like I liked how you really got to see Anakin's fall to the dark side, like throughout the whole
Yeah.
show. Like whenever there's this one scene where he's interrogating a Geonosian general, and he like chokes him and like slams him up against the wall and stuff, and it gets really intense. And I think that's definitely why it moved on to Adult Swim later on.
Mm-hmm. You can't defeat me. I have the high ground.
You're supposed to bring balance to the Force, not destroy it.
That wasn't in Clone Wars, right? I've never
No.
seen the prequels. I'll have to watch those. My number 4, I picked Animaniacs.
Was
It's
it
pretty
Disney
old,
thing?
isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Was Animaniacs a Disney thing?
it was a Warner Brothers, so I can't remember what it originally aired on. Probably Fox Kids was around there at that time. Probably
Fox Kids anime. 4 kids.
4 kids.
We'll get into that
That's
in a
another
future
video.
episode. Yeah, that'll be a
Another
future
video.
episode.
Oh,
but,
dude, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Hey,
You know, I think my least favorite thing about the whole thing that they did with the whenever they did the 4 kids was they took out this scene where this guy holds a gun to Kaiba's head.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and Kaiba takes a card and like it gets stuck between the hammer of the gun, and it just stops the gun from going off.
Yeah.
back to Animaniacs. Animaniacs was really everything. It's the king slash.
Can you sing the country song from Animaniacs?
I cannot. I can do the United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Ecuador, Salvador, Costa Rica, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, Ecuador, Chile, Brazil. That's all I know.
It's pretty good.
I think I said Ecuador twice, but Yakko is definitely my favorite. He was just this smart-ass character, and he'd just come up with this, like, stuff real quick to say back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he would, you would tell him he's lying, he'd say, I'm not, you said you are too. He'd be like, actually, no, I'm 35. He just said, and it's the grand show of innuendos, too. They'd always have something real adult to say. I'd have to really, you have a handful of them, too. You could pick from Animaniacs where they just blurt out something that a kid definitely would not understand. And it wasn't like a normal cartoon where they, like, when SpongeBob's on his couch watching the sea sponge, like, moving Gary, he comes in, he's like, I'm watching the sports channel, and that happens, like, once. Animaniacs, like, just about every episode had something really, like, sexual or adult-oriented to say. And it was funny stuff too. It wasn't ever like stale. It wasn't ever corny. It was just real original, and it was just really funny. And some of the like Pinky and the Brain was on Animaniacs, and that was a classic. Slappy Squirrel, she was always really funny. The Warner brothers and Warner sister, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. They were just always funny to watch too. And Animaniacs definitely. They were on Fox Kids. I think they were on WB Kids. Nicktoons. They were on Nicktoons. I think they're making a revival. The voice actors have gone on tour and sang the songs. Rob Paulson, the voice actor for Yakko, actually can sing the country song like right off the top of his head. And he got that done in one take.
One take?
One take.
Wow.
It took Rob Paulson to sing that.
That's
crazy.
I like how you know all this. It's honestly impressive.
I guess that's why you're the host.
Yeah.
It comes naturally.
We're just the lackeys.
You're just the guys I brought in.
We're just filler.
You're the guys I found off the street corner. You guys want to join my podcast?
You can't crap on the hustle, man.
Yeah. It's not much, but it's honest work. Go ahead, Gav. What's your number 4?
Number 4, regular show.
Regular show.
Yeah, that's up top.
Since we're talking about it now, I'm going to say it right now. Regular show is my number 1. I could sit and talk about regular show for hours on end. Maybe that's for another time, another episode.
Cartoon Network episode's coming up.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing that. You can talk about regular show on that. We'll bring that up.
It's really good.
It's so solid.
For us, like, that was our thing back then.
Yeah.
It really was.
And I think it really spoke to like teenagers as well, because it was it always seemed more like a summer job for Mordecai and Rigby than like an actual job.
Yeah.
If 90s kids had Rugrats and Powerpuff Girls, then 2010s kids definitely had Adventure Time and regular show. That was our...
That's a good comparison.
That was our...
One thing I will say is I did not see barely anything in the last season.
Me neither.
Cartoon Network did a terrible job
They always do.
of promoting that. I did not know when an episode was coming out or
I didn't know
anything.
What
they
was
just,
going on either?
They did they actually went into space in the last season. Spoiler if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years. I
A
think.
little late.
I feel like if you haven't seen it in the last 2 years, you would.
Yeah, I kind of deserve it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like spoiling Saving Private Ryan. Like,
They were on like
it's like a 10-year-old
Titanic.
As a kid, like they
Leo
were on
lives.
Mondays.
Wait, what?
Like last season's episodes were like Mondays at like the weirdest time. No one could ever see them. And then they finally promoted the last episode, and I was like,
It's like, when did that happen?
All right.
I remember sitting down with my parents and watching the last episode of regular show whenever it came out.
I watched
Really?
it,
And that was like a big step for
I
me.
recorded it. I was at work that night that it aired, and I watched it the next morning. I like woke up at like 7. And I was like, oh boy.
Regular show.
Favorite regular show character?
Skips is cool.
Skips.
Yeah.
What about you, Cam?
GBF.
GBF.
Giant beard.
Yes. Oh my god. that was a solid episode.
I'm gonna have to pick 2 on this one. It's definitely Muscle Man and High Five Ghost.
Okay.
All right, you
those
guys take
two
your
together.
shirt off.
Woo! No,
I'm taking the hoodie off. The hoodie's coming off.
Okay. For my favorite, I definitely have definitely a tie. Honorable mention to Muscle Man. He was always really funny. High Five Ghost and Pops. I really liked High Five Ghost and Pops.
The creator of the show is like a really cool dude too.
He's just
J.G. Quintel
was the guy.
Yeah.
Basically. Cameron, number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4. Oh, dude, we're the Codename Kids Next Door time.
Do you know that they were gonna make?
Number 4.
Do you know that they were gonna make a giant treehouse?
Yeah, $1 million
$1 million.
treehouse. That'll be an episode for another time. But
4, we've already talked about it. Mine's is Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold.
Okay.
Who's your favorite Hey Arnold character?
Hey Arnold character.
Hey Arnold himself.
No.
Arnold.
Arnold.
Oh man, this is a tough one.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones.
I like Gerald. Gerald was
Marge Simpson.
I know. The Chocolate Kid. Favorite episode is the Chinese Checkers episode.
That's a good one. My favorite character is Helga Pataki.
Really?
She was great. My favorite episode is the Stoop Kid episode.
Do you ever I always felt bad for Helga because
that's why I liked her so much.
Yeah.
Wasn't she like the bully or something?
Yeah, she was moving football head. That was
the bully who secretly liked Arnold and was really, to be honest, she wasn't treated the best at home.
Her mom was an alcoholic. Her dad was wasn't he always at work?
He was always at work, and they always
praised her sister Olga. Yeah. All right, we're gonna kick it.
All right,
kick it.
ConsoleCommander. Number 4 is Squidbillies.
Squidbillies.
I have nothing to say to you. I can't.
I don't have a favorite episode or character, but I'm gonna go for Squidbilly, my favorite
I could
character.
never watch that show. It was just so.
Animation.
Oh yeah,
So good.
It's so much hillbilly.
on par with my favorite anime.
Yeah, that's the best part about it.
12-ounce.
They're
mouth.
always slopping down.
No, listen. How can you not get over the intro where he's do a little bit of ditchy from lifty? How can you I could never get over the intro where it's the main character and he's sitting in the car that's on the cinder blocks and his kid's behind it pushing it and he's like careful with the trim and he's like Daddy, can I take a turn? And he's like, no.
Dipsky and the Lipsky.
A little bit of Dipsky and Lipsky.
We're gonna have to watch an episode of Squidbillies after we're done here. Yeah, we can. My number 3. I already talked about this one a couple times already. SpongeBob was my number 3.
SpongeBob is my number 3 too.
Which one was your number 3?
The only reason is not number 1 is they need to end it. They release maybe 1 or 2 episodes a year.
It's just going.
And it's just not the same.
In my opinion.
The latest season isn't too bad though. I really like all of the expressions they've been giving the characters.
Yo, speaking of Jimmy Neutron, got a blast.
Got a blast.
Got a blast.
Psychic Pebbles. You guys know Psychic Pebbles?
Oh, yeah.
YouTube? He storyboarded or cleaned up. I can't remember. I bet he was involved in animation for a SpongeBob episode.
Really?
Recently. Yeah. It was really cool to see him do stuff.
I'm sure an episode with him in it, with him helping, would probably help the show a lot.
Oh yeah.
They're like The Simpsons where they've done literally everything.
Yeah. Seasons 2, 3, and 4 of SpongeBob were really my golden seasons because it was really seasons 2, 3, and 4. Season 1 had a couple okay ones. The very first season, a couple of stinkers. Ripped Pants is definitely my least favorite SpongeBob episode.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why that episode gets so. I don't understand why that episode gets so much praise.
I hate that episode.
Why?
The episode.
It's stupid.
I think the episode's good in my point.
I mean, it is stupid, but
I just think
SpongeBob's just.
Well, yeah, but I just think when I used to watch when I was a kid. Oh, the song, yeah, you can't mess with the song.
Okay.
I can give you a plus for the song. But
Wait, did we talk about favorite episodes?
Yeah, we
did. Yeah.
A joke that's not that funny in the first place that goes on throughout an entire 11 minutes of an episode just doesn't fly with me.
Okay.
I think it would have been done a lot better as almost like a short, the Reef Blower.
The Reef, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
That was a good idea. That's a good idea, Nolan. We're going to give it up to you. Okay, for your number 3 pick.
Adventure Time.
Adventure Time.
Yeah, that's up there.
Did we do... I said my favorite character, but who is your favorite Adventure Time character?
Probably Finn.
Finn?
Yeah. I don't know.
I cannot agree with that, and the only reason I can't agree with that is because of Fire and Ice, my least favorite Adventure Time episode, the one where he writes letters to Flame Princess posing to be Ice King in order to watch Ice King get the crap beat out of him for no reason by Flame Princess, and he like thinks it's like hot. That episode completely. And then when Flame Princess calls him out for it, he's like, "Whoa, I didn't do anything wrong. I was just trying to have some fun." And it's like, dude,
I mean, you've never done like anything, like I don't know. That's kind of like scummy and stuff, but like everyone has that side to them.
Yeah, I just think that
I think it gave him. I think it gave his character a little bit more dimension.
Well, yeah, it definitely did.
But it was dimension that I don't think was needed because of the fact that like his character's always portrayed as like this hero.
That was kind of out of place.
The golden standard for all characters.
I can understand the episode. Yeah, I can understand the episode where maybe he is trying to like save somebody and makes a wrong decision, and like maybe somebody like gets really hurt,
like a Superman complex or something, or Mr. Incredible, something like that.
Definitely just making him do something that's completely out of character like that, just kind of really just like when I was like maybe like a 12 when that episode came out, they hyped that episode up too. They were like, Fire and Ice, this big Adventure Time episode, and I watched it and I was like, that sucked. Like I thought it was awful. Cam, favorite Adventure Time character?
Peppermint Butler.
Peppermint Butler?
Or the Banana Guards. The Banana Guards are always classic.
They're funny. What about you?
That's a hard one for me. I haven't watched too much Adventure Time. I'm actually planning on watching that with my girlfriend.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
because that's her favorite show.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to sit down and watch that. But from the episodes I saw with the Lich, I always thought he was such a good foil to the characters because he's just straight evil.
Yeah.
Compared to everything else.
Like that's when the show really like started getting like kind of serious.
Yeah.
Like the first episode where the Lich was introduced, like that was like I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, definitely.
When I was like 12, I think I was 12 when the episode came out where I think he like messed something, the Lich did something and it went back and Finn was like the kid with like the big nose and he had like the robot arm.
Yeah.
I was like I watched the episode when I was 12 and I was like, whoa, wait. And then like that was the season finale, so I had to wait like 4 to 6 months or something like that before they were like season 3. And I was like, oh come on, I want it now. Like,
hey, you can't do this to me. That's how they knew that you were coming back. That was the thing.
Yeah, and it made me come back definitely.
Yeah,
like they had a release date for it, and I was like, yes. You said your number 3 is SpongeBob, right?
Yeah.
So we will go to you.
Okay, my number.
For your number 3.
Metalocalypse.
Metalocalypse, yes.
Definitely. I definitely have a lot more Adult Swim animation on here.
I mean, it's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I think that's because I never really watched cartoons growing up. I would always I'd wake up in the middle of the night, have nothing else to do. Because whenever I was growing up, I had to ask my parents if I could play video games. So I wouldn't just get up and play video games or something whenever I couldn't sleep. So I would just turn on the TV. And that's the kind of stuff I would see whenever I'd wake up.
Yeah, Metalocalypse was really. Who was your favorite Death Clock member?
Oh, the lead singer, of course.
Nathan Explosion. I like Nathan Explosion, and I was a big William Murderface guy. I loved Murderface.
Who was their agent?
Oh, the manager. Oh, I can't remember his name, but yeah, he was cool too. He had the glasses, and he just they would go and blow up an entire country.
Okay.
And you're okay.
Favorite Metalocalypse song? Favorite Death Clock song?
It's tough between Face Fisted and Mermaider. I think Mermaider is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Mermaider is one of these two over here. What are you talking about?
I never had seen Metalocalypse.
I like
episode.
Yeah. My number. We're going nitty gritty here. We're going to number 2. Then the next 2 shows for me, I always flip flop between for my favorite cartoon. Both of them, in my opinion, were just quality. I had to bump this one down from my number 1 for my number 2. My number 2 is original Teen Titans.
Yes. What about Teen Titans Go?
Shut your mouth.
Yes.
Get out.
Teen Titans Go is the greatest show ever. The movie is just the pinnacle.
The movie I didn't mind. The movie was actually really funny.
I had never seen the movie.
You'll have to watch it.
The series isn't terrible.
Yeah, it's not like
I think it got a lot of shit just because of the fact that it was we went from getting Teen Titans to getting Teen Titans Go, which is more of just a wacky thing.
And the creator had never seen the original.
Yeah, the original creators. Teen Titans was just a perfect mix and blend of every kind of genre you could ask for.
It had
getting chills.
It had
reminiscing about
action. when it had like villains and every episode had action. Robin and Starfire, when were they finally just gonna get together? Didn't happen until Trouble in Tokyo, but
That's good.
Raven had tons of backstory.
Raven was the best character, my favorite character. Suspense, drama, comedy. It was funny. All 5 members of Teen Titans. It's really hard to list who my favorite Teen Titans are solely because of the fact that all 5 of them were really solid characters. But my favorite Teen Titan was definitely Raven.
What about Terra? Thoughts on Terra?
Dang, Terra.
Terra's
You're breaking my heart over here.
Yeah, listen, Terra's saga with her and Beast Boy.
That's good.
Yeah, and Slade.
Completely solid. Completely
Solid.
great. My favorite Teen Titans episode is Nevermore. That's the one where they go into Raven's mirror and there's like the different versions of Raven.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's one that's like lazy and there's one that's like happy. And I thought that was an awesome episode. Who's your favorite member of the Teen Titans?
Member or just character in the show?
You could do characters, yeah.
I like Slade.
Slade was awesome.
Yeah.
Slade was
cool.
badass.
He was really cool.
Who's he? Who's he based off of again?
Deathstroke.
Yeah, Deathstroke. Yeah.
What about you, Nolan? Your favorite?
I definitely was a Beast Boy guy, but my favorite episode would definitely have to be the one where it's Cyborg whenever he's playing the fighting game, and and then he fights. I don't remember what his name is right now, but whenever he has like the actual battle between the other guy, with the other Cyborg.
Cam.
Red X.
Red X was completely badass.
Yeah, he was. He was such a cool character.
Who was that?
That was Robin.
It was Robin, but then in another episode,
Yeah, he comes back later on. They don't know who it
because
is.
he stole Robin's tech. Yeah.
I think they said that was Tim Drake. That was Red X. Because I think they just blurted that out because they don't plan on doing season 6. I'm pretty sure they said it was because Robin in Teen Titans is Dick Grayson. I think they said Tim Drake was Red X when he came back. I don't know. It's still. I don't think they ever confirmed it. Actually, now that I think about it, but they were saying that a lot of people were just like, "Oh, it's Tim Drake." Gav, we're gonna hit you. Number 2.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. Now I'm gonna throw a little rule here real quick. I told you about this, but I'll let it happen. Now this show is not gonna be anime related. I'm kind of trying. We're gonna do an anime episode. We're gonna do an anime episode. But most of the show is gonna revolve around cartoons and Western animation. But I let him use Dragon Ball Z because
It was on Nicktoons.
it was on Nicktoons, so I counted it. Kai was on Nicktoons, so I'll count it.
Plus Toonami.
Yeah, and Toonami. If you're talking technical, I'll allow that too. But go ahead. Why is DBZ your number 2?
Oh my God, there's a lot of reasons.
Where to start?
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, that's really where me and your expertise lies too, is like with anime, because that's really
That's
what
what
we
I'm
watch a
more
lot.
into. Yeah. So I don't know. Just as a kid, like I always like the suspense. Like it's kind of ridiculous. Like you have to wait like 17 episodes to actually see them fight or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, as a kid, like waiting every week to see the next episode come out, it was like, oh my gosh! Like I was going crazy, and I was like really into the fighting games, like on the PS3 and stuff.
Xenoverse?
Xenoverse.
That's when I kind of stopped playing them. But like
You would
Raging
school me in
Blast.
Xenoverse.
Gav, who's your
In Raging Blast.
Oh my God,
Raging Blast, you would school me
who's
in.
your favorite character?
Probably, I don't know. Like Goku is my favorite, like good guy, but bad guy, Kid Buu.
Kid Buu.
Yeah,
Because he's just
like
brutal.
pure evil. Like
He's cool.
just
And it's fun to have villains like that too. Like,
he's animalistic. Like,
Yeah.
he just
Aren't there
doesn't.
3 Boos? There's Kid Buu, Majin Buu.
There's the Majin Buu, the fat dude.
Yeah,
and then
I
there
love
was actually one in between Majin Buu and Super Buu. It was like this.
Hey, boo boo.
It was like this really skinny gray skeleton-looking one, but I don't think he was in. He didn't really do much.
Basket.
Yeah, find out next week on Dragon Ball Z. Oh, Yogi, get the picnic basket.
Yes, we're gonna fight. Yogi.
We're gonna fight Goku. No, Yogi, don't do it. How about you, ConsoleCommander? Your favorite DBZ character?
I actually don't like DBZ that much.
Up top.
Yeah.
What? Why? I don't like.
I'm keeping my hands
Okay.
down.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna fight it.
I
I
wanna
know
keep
it's
my
an
life.
acquired taste.
It's
For
up
sure.
there with like all the other shonens and stuff that are like
Mhm.
the really long running stuff, which I've never.
Hope you're ready to watch
That's just
300
saying,
episodes of this show.
I'm just like, what's anime? What Animu?
But
Oh, those Chinese cartoons.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
can we get a Chinese animation, please?
I
No.
think the Chinese version of Amazing World of Gumball is gotta be the best.
That's the best anime.
It's the best anime.
Top of the
It's right
list.
up there with Corey in the house.
It's so crazy how they took Anais out of that. Because
Did they really?
Yeah, Anais is not in the Chinese episode
Why?
version of Amazing. Well, if you think about China, and like
Careful.
We're cutting it off. All right, who's your favorite DBZ
I didn't even
character?
read the list mine yet.
Cam.
Piccolo.
Okay, go
Yeah, no,
ahead.
mine was Vegeta, just because
Oh, yeah.
of his
Okay.
switch between
Do
being
your
a bad
Vegeta
guy and a good guy.
impression.
I don't think I could say that. Is that
No,
okay?
don't say that. Just say something
What?
else.
What
Just
do
be
I
like, no
say?
C and B.
No C and B.
You're gonna have to say the right thing.
Krabby Patty.
Dragon Ball PP.
Dragon's
That's my
Ball
favorite.
Dragon's Balls PP is probably my favorite live
Yes.
anime.
Are we at 2 or are we at 1?
We're at
We're at 2. We're at 2.
My favorite DBZ character is a tie between Master Roshi and Wisp.
Have you ever seen like Dragon Ball? Like the
Yeah.
original?
Yeah.
Well, they're
Yeah,
not
like
all
that's where
gods.
you see a lot of
Lay
like,
off, turtle!
the older like, characters.
Kick at the Can, number 2.
It was Adventure Time.
It was Adventure
We already
Time.
talked about it.
What, if you can think or know the name to it, what would be your favorite song from Adventure Time?
Oh my god.
You know, I know mine.
What's yours?
Mine is I'm Not Your Problem. The one.
Can you sing it? Can you please
I'm
sing?
not going to sing it. The one. In the same episode, they both had 2 really good songs. I'm Not Your Problem. The one where Marceline's just like talking mad crap.
Smack,
on-
yeah.
on
Making pancakes,
TV,
making bacon
pancakes. Or the I
Takes
can't remember the name of the other one, but they're all sitting at the fire and Finn's just singing about how he enjoys their company. And I thought those were both really, really good songs. Do you two have a favorite Adventure Time song, if you can think of one?
I can't think of one. Although, quick, this still has to do with topic. You're gonna have to see pictures of me and my girlfriend. We're supposed to do a gender bender cosplay of Fire
my
Princess and Flame Princess.
Princess and Finn?
Yeah.
That sounds cool. I'll have to. Ooh.
What's the last song called? Like
Oh, come along.
yeah,
with
I
me.
like that one. It's cute.
With the butterflies and bees,
Yeah.
we can wander
cried
through.
when I
Yeah,
heard that
I
song.
heard that. That was sad. Do so as we please.
It
We're
just
all
makes
very
you wanna, even if
emotional
you haven't seen
when it
the
comes down to
show, that
cartoons.
song just
That's a
makes you
good
want to
song.
cry.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
We're gonna give it to you, my chum.
My number
Your
one?
Your number 2.
Oh, my number 2? Okay.
Now, let's see what your number 2 is.
Codename Kids Next Door.
All
Okay,
right.
Okay.
Favorite of the main 5.
Oh, which one was the one that always wore the hoodie?
That would be number 4.
Number 4, yeah.
Australian.
Yeah, number 4.
Number 4. What about you, Gav? Of the main 5.
I don't really have a
Don't
favorite.
really
I
have a
guess. Like
favorite?
they're all
But yeah, they're
cool.
pretty good. What about you, Cam?
Okay, I'm trying to remember. Number 1 is the ball.
Bald one. Number 2 is the fat kid. Number 3 is the Asian. Number 4 is the
The third is the-
Australian.
Okay, so wait.
And number 5 was the.
What was the cereal that was always in like the Bears? That there was always in the
Oh,
show? That number 3.
Rainbow Monkeys.
Yeah, so number 3
Number 3.
in the Rainbow Monkeys, like, you know how she like loved them?
Yeah.
That's exactly why I loved her.
No. Okay, actually, I'd like to change my answer. Which one was the one that always messed everything up? Like, there was that whole episode where they had to, like, do a trade-off for one of the adults. It was, like, the toilet paper guy that they had to trade off, and then they got, like, that real scumbag of a kid that, like, always messes everything up.
I feel like it's number 2.
It feels like number 2 is my favorite.
No, not him. It's, like, this real...
This isn't
Hoagie.
Hoagie was his name? Yeah. The fat kid's name was Hoagie. Oh man, I want a Hoagie now. That sounds good.
Yeah, Subway?
Oh, let's hit up Subway after this, boys.
I eat there like every day.
Oh man.
Oh,
I
nice.
do.
I eat Hoagie.
Hoagie.
Number 1!
Oh my god! I
My
remember
number
that
1,
now.
speaking of number 1, my
Number
number
one.
1 is my life as a teenage robot.
Dude.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking of, Cam.
I know you know where they
I know.
Keep it PG-13.
Rock hard, my
PG.
favorite episode.
My favorite card. I should have made Teen Titans my number one. After seeing you guys laughing your asses off over there.
Why? Like,
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you after.
Let's put the video in.
No,
No, I meant like why? Why is it your number one?
my number one.
Why?
Because again, it was just a really good action-packed cartoon. Jenny X-9 was just such a good character. She was, the teenager. She went through a lot of teenage things, going to prom, acne, getting puberty, all that stuff. She was a solid character. All the villains, like Vexus, she was cool.
Did you say getting puberty?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an acquired thing.
Achieving puberty.
Ascending to puberty.
The Crust Cousins, you can't talk about my life without the Crust Cousins. They were funny characters. It was just a good, again, another, kind of like a slice of life. Not really a slice of life because...
Brad and Tucker, what was their last name? I can't remember.
Oh, crap, I can't believe I don't remember either. But they were both solid characters. They were... the normal kids that Jenny befriended, and
then Brad liked.
Sheldon. Sheldon, the most relatable character.
Did Sheldon make his own robot at one point?
Yeah, Sheldon makes his own robot, and it becomes hectic.
My favorite episode.
My life is 100% my favorite character. Like I
what
said,
did that air on?
Nick. Like I said, with teenage robot and Teen Titans, it's always a mix for me. I can never pick between the two.
Okay.
But
favorite episode.
Favorite episode, the human suit episode, 100%. We gotta be normal.
I really enjoyed that episode.
Give me your skin.
Give me. Hey, Jenny, come here.
Gab, I'm gonna give up to you. Number
Okay. Number one.
Number one.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Avatar: The Last
my gosh. That's by far above all the others by so much.
What about what would you want to bend? What kind of bender would you want to be?
My gender.
I want to be. I'd want to be Bender from Futurama.
I mean, the blood bending episode.
That episode was brutal, but really cool.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's
when I was a kid, I was like, "What is this?" Ugh. But it was really cool too.
Yeah, because wasn't it just it was just water bending with more steps, right?
Yeah.
Your blood.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much water.
Yeah.
Whatever the.
Cam, what would you want to
is.
bend? What would you want to bend?
I'm gonna be a normie and say I'll bend fire.
Bend fire? What about
Fire's cool.
you? Fire's sweet.
Cool.
I'm trying to think.
There's no bad
Because
answer.
I would definitely want something that's very
Useful?
yeah, like something I could use in my everyday life.
Earth would be cool for that.
I was thinking Earth.
Earth was my pick.
I don't know. Waterbending would be really cool too.
I'd like to control rocks.
Airbending would be cool because you could just float stuff.
But airbending really isn't that useful whenever you think about it. They really, honestly,
Basically fly though.
yeah. But
That's cool.
in my opinion, that's probably the weakest of all of them.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why they made Aang.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Yeah, although I think
That's fair.
earthbending would be cool because they had metal bending as well.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, so there's your number one. Very solid pick, Gab.
Should be your favorite character.
Yeah, go
I want
ahead.
to talk about it more.
Go ahead.
I don't know if it's my favorite character, but Iroh,
Uncle
Zuko's,
Iroh.
yeah, Zuko's uncle.
My boy.
Like-
Zuko's my favorite.
Yeah,
Love Zuko.
Well,
Zuko was cool.
that episode where, I don't know what you would call it. He did that little, not a funeral thing, but for his son,
Yeah.
and he sang that song. That I just bawled.
Yeah.
During that episode, that, I can still rewatch it and just tears.
Yeah, did you
swell
know
up in
that
my
Uncle
eyes.
Iroh was voiced by the same guy that did Aku
Really?
from Samurai Jack?
That's cool. I did not know that.
Extra thick.
What if Uncle Iroh?
Every time I picture Iroh, I'm just gonna think of that.
I mean, if you think about it, Iroh was extra thick.
He is extra thick.
I had never seen.
Like Dr. Robot.
Never seen a full episode.
Who's your
Really?
favorite character?
I don't know.
Just say
Which
Aang.
which person looks cool?
Aang.
Aang.
Aang is my favorite.
I like Caillou's my favorite character.
Yeah.
What about you, Nolan?
Which one was the guy that used the sword? Like he didn't have any bending powers.
Mm,
You know what I'm talking about? It was one of
like the guy who liked Katara.
It was. They were both from the same village.
Is it her brother?
Yeah, her brother.
Sokka.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Oh,
always liked him because I didn't watch much of Avatar, but I always thought it was cool that he was the only normal guy there, and he was like he contrasted a lot with the other characters because he couldn't
Yeah.
really do much, but like
Right.
he
He
wanted to
got,
learn
like-
the way of the sword, so then he could actually
Yeah.
help out.
That was a pretty cool development. Like
Yeah, and I watched that. I did watch that episode where he has that final fight with his master whenever they're pretending to be firebenders.
Mhm.
Yep. All right. Well, Cam, we're gonna give it up to you. What is your number one?
I already said it, but it is regular show.
It's regular show.
Nostalgia that just seeps,
Solid.
that seep, like I can feel it flow through my body. My chakras align. Regular show. I don't know why.
Cam, why is regular show your favorite?
I guess it was just because how much I could relate to it. Me and Gav, big
Yeah.
fans of the show. I think every time we'd see each other in the halls or just out and about. Oh!
Let's all do it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh!
No, I think. I mean,
Alright,
even
should I take a
for
shirt off? Muscle man.
I do look like Muscle Man.
even for a while, like my Steam name for a while was ham boning.
Really?
Yeah.
Ham boning.
That's like first episode right off
Yeah.
the bat.
Don't look at our crotches while we synchronize our watches.
GBF. It's Garrett Bobby Ferguson. Giant beard though, bitch.
That's what's so cool about the show. There's so many memorable things.
There's so many memorable
What's it-
moments.
It's like having
About the
inside
guy.
jokes with your friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is. That's a fantastic point.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think
Go
that's
ahead.
what the creator was like going for.
Yeah.
Like these are just all these inside jokes I would have with my friends. Like
Well, why don't you go ahead, Console Commander, give us your number one.
So I told you guys you would not be able to guess this one, and
Alright.
this is definitely why. The Octonauts.
The Octonauts. Go ahead. Give us a premise.
Okay, so basically, it was it's a cartoon, but it was a kids show. It was it was one of those morning shows on Nickelodeon that was it was supposed to be there to help kids learn and stuff. But I remember waking up senior year every day. I'd wake up in the morning and I would go downstairs and watch Octonauts, and it's basically about these. It's one of those shows that has the animals as people.
like Backyardigans.
Yo, bro, we need to do an episode on preschool animation.
honorable mention, please, Backyardigans.
Honorable mention for best cartoon. I'm gonna have to go for Higglytown Heroes.
Speaking of backyards,
Oh,
back at the barnyard.
I changed my mind. My number one favorite show is Back at the Barnyard.
Perhaps.
But
Continue with
yeah,
Go ahead.
basically, what the show was about was it's all these animals that are in this underwater outpost, and they would go around and fix problems going on in the ocean. And there was this penguin that was super nervous all the time, and then
Pablo.
Stop.
yeah, and then there was the captain, and he was a polar bear, and he was all super stoic and stuff.
That's cool.
And it was just it was this really kid friendly, but still funny and fun to watch because every episode they'd have these different animals that I had no idea existed.
That's cool,
Yeah,
actually.
it was kind of like watching Animal Planet or something.
Like Zaboomafoo.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Who doesn't love a good old episode?
Honestly, when I was really little, all those learning shows I loved.
Yeah.
I loved.
You
learning
can't
about
really go
stuff.
wrong with most of them. I can agree with that. Blue's Clues.
Oh, I watched it.
Blue's Clues.
Those shows was great.
Blue's
It was
Clues
amazing.
taught me a lot.
Did you know that it was Steve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you know he has his own band?
Mm-hmm.
The first one, or
Yeah, the first
That's
one.
the first one, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do an episode on stuff like that,
Preschool
or preschool animation, because that's just as important as a lot of the.
That's what you grew up with.
Yeah, that's what you started with.
Foundation.
Like when I was a kid, I'd do Blue's Clues, Bear in the Big Blue House,
Oh man, that is such a good show.
Shaboomafoo. That's what I really.
You know what I'm bringing for next podcast? I have an inflatable chair of Blue's Clues.
Bring it.
I'm bringing it.
Epic.
Bring it for the up next week's the Nickelodeon episode, so you can bring it.
Okay.
You're bringing it. So that was the top 10 Tooncast cartoons of all time.
Yeah.
I think you guys had a real solid top 10 list.
So did you.
Thank you, host.
I think
Pretty
that you guys definitely know what you're talking about, and I think that we're going to have a lot of fun here. But let's get into another question. I'm not going to end this just yet. When you were a kid, were you more of a Nick kid, a Disney kid, or a Cartoon Network kid? I'll start with you, Cam.
I was more of a Cartoon Network kid for sure. There was one point where I stopped watching cartoons altogether, and that was around 09.
CN Real.
The CN
CN Real.
Destroy, Build, Destroy It. Greatest show on earth.
Yeah, that was
But-
that time. Dude, what would happen?
Yeah. That's
CN, especially during the Renaissance, I watched a giant amount of cartoons.
Yeah.
I did watch a bit of Nickelodeon,
Yeah.
but
Dude. I can't stop thinking about dude, what would happen? It's not a cartoon, but they were just so stupid. It's like, dude, what would happen if I jumped into a pool? I don't know, man. Maybe he'll get wet.
I saw one. There's one where they tried to throw pizzas in the window.
I watched one where they got dressed up as fruit. They jumped into a giant fruit
I
smoothie.
think
It was
that's
like
where
a
like
big,
the stupid humor
a
kind
big
of
blender,
started.
and I was like,
It's just stupid. Like it's not even funny.
It's just like it's so
minimal
stupid. It is
thought.
yeah.
Minimal
It's just-
thought is put
it's,
into it.
It's Jackass for kids that aren't allowed to watch Jackass, but that's
Yeah.
not cartoons. Maybe we'll talk about C Unreal a bit, where we break
Do
out
our
this
Cartoon Network
episode, which will be coming up soon. Gav, I'll take it over to you. Were you a Nick, Disney, or Cartoon Network kid?
Same with Cam.
Same with Cam.
Yeah, Cartoon Network definitely. I know I had a lot of like
You as
Nick.
well.
Mhm.
I think we
Yeah.
have a four-way opinion here because I
Really?
was also a Cartoon Network kid. The
Something
only
about
thing. The only thing that kept me there was a lot of things that kept me tuned into Nick, like Teenage Robot and
yeah.
Fairly Odd Parents. But the really when I was a kid, the thing that kept me going to Nick outside of like Cartoon Network or Disney was just SpongeBob. As a kid, I was just obsessed with SpongeBob. But definitely, I those are the only like 3 shows maybe I could turn on. But Cartoon Network had like my goal. My goal
What was
is
that?
Alchemic Karibo.
shout out to Alchemic Karibo. Yeah, Mr. Meaty.
Put the link in the description.
Yeah, I'll
We're
put
gonna put a link to Alchemic Karibo in the description,
Oh my god.
And the
To
Mr.
video
Meat.
too.
and the Mr. Meaty theme song.
Mr. Meaty, like that, the tapeworm episode. Oh.
Cartoon Network kept me tuned
good.
in, no pun intended, though. When they did Har Har Thursdays, that was when Total Drama started. Total Drama was so good to me when I was a kid because
I agree.
I got sick when I used to really like watching Survivor, and then Cartoon Network came out with like Kids Survivor,
Yeah.
and it wasn't even like they did a lot of like mature-ish things on there. I feel like the episode where Heather's shirt comes off when they're like skiing.
I think they
And
blurred that out.
They did. Well, obviously they'd have to blur it out because
In Canada, it's a Canadian show.
it's a Canadian. Yeah, it's Canadian.
The one thing they can take back Johnny Test. I don't want Johnny Test.
I watched Johnny Test. For
Dude, do you guys remember whenever they changed Dookie's voice?
I do not
what?
remember.
Do not remember.
Yeah, they changed Dookie's voice, and I was like, wait a minute, hold up, something ain't right.
Listen, Johnny Test just made me sick to my stomach.
Har Har Thursdays also had Bling Bling Boy. Chowder was on Har Har Thursdays, and Chowder was definitely a completely solid cartoon.
Chowder.
Chowder.
There was so many
Speaking of-
fourth wall breaks in that show.
Oh,
like
like,
every episode, I swear.
There's like a 20-minute long video on YouTube that's
I think
every
I-
fourth wall break from Chowder. It's
You know what you're talking about?
long. It's like 20 minutes.
There's so
It's
many.
long.
Yeah, you know, speaking of French animation, though, like bringing up like Johnny Test and stuff, like, do you guys remember Code Lyoko?
Yeah, I remember Cody.
What was that about?
That was the one where the kid like found the computer in the like basement of the school they were going to. They were at like a boarding school, and they would like plug in and go into the thing because there was like viruses and stuff that were like trying to come into the real world.
I do not remember that.
They had like the giant foreheads.
Yeah, if you saw Cody Lyoko, you would 100% remember Cody Lyoko. That's how that goes. Flapjack was also a show that was on Har Har Thursdays. Really solid show.
Yeah.
That show is amazing.
Yeah.
Show is good. That's definitely also on my honorable mentions for.
I'm
favorites.
going on like a giant nostalgia trip through
It is, because this is what we're going to be doing every week. Every week, same time.
Every week?
Think about same time.
So pumped.
Every week. Trying to think a couple other questions I could throw out at you guys. This is the general episode, so I'll throw it out real quick. I'm going to jump into a little bit of adult animation here.
Yes,
We
yes.
were talking.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
Good. I was a really big fan of Adult Swim growing up. Well, not growing up, but actually, yeah. I'd be kidding if I didn't tell you that I'd stay up and watch Adult Swim. When I was a kid, I really liked Family Guy, though now looking back on Family Guy.
I think everyone has to admit that they liked Family Guy.
Yeah, at one point,
100%.
at one point there was a time in your life where you would watch Family Guy and you would just laugh your ass off.
Mm-hmm.
Robot Chicken was on when I was.
That was hilarious, and it still is.
Moral Oral was on when.
I've never seen Moral.
I have.
Is it good?
Squidbillies, Aqua Teen, Metalocalypse.
Mr. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles, I will watch till the cows come home.
Mr. Pickles. Mr. Pickles. He's a good boy.
Take a minute to recollect on all the cool bumps they had in between.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
they
that
had the
like
best
made
ones.
it so cool.
Did you know that Pee-wee's Playhouse used to air on Adult Swim?
Really?
Well, not like new episodes, but they
Was that post theater incident or?
Yeah, theater incident happened in like the 90s. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
that was a while ago.
Yeah, it definitely. But yeah, they would air episodes of Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I mean,
at
it was
midnight. I can't
kinda
remember why they
creepy.
did.
Kind of creepy.
Their April Fool's prank throw is really good. Like the one year that they had the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie, but they shortened it to a little box in the very small corner. Or the years that they played The Room with Tommy Wiseau.
Yes.
Oh my God.
The entire time that Adult Swim was on. Or a couple of years ago when they did. The only reason I knew they did it was because Samurai Jack was on that night, and they aired the season 4 premiere of Rick and Morty the entire night instead of doing anything else. I remember being really pissed off about that.
Can we talk about? Yeah, I remember that as well. But can we talk about how the fact that Rick and Morty gets all this praise, but it didn't end up on any of our lists?
I don't like Rick and Morty.
Rick and
It's
Morty
funny.
is funny. The
I think me and Shad's IQs just aren't high enough to understand it.
the toxic fan base kind of ruined it.
I worked at McDonald's, so the whole Szechuan sauce bullcrap really
I'll be
just
honest,
completely
I was
ruined
on
my
board
shirt.
with that. Like, I was all about getting that sauce.
I was on board with it just because I mean, who wouldn't want to just try something like that on their McNugget? But at the end of the day, just get soy sauce. I worked at McDonald's, and if I had $1 for every time someone came up and said, "Can I get some Szechuan sauce, please?" I would definitely already be retired.
Some of the episodes I think are kind of stale. Justin Roiland's
I
comedy.
think a lot of the episodes are stale.
I can't say that. Justin Roiland's
I think a lot of the
is
episodes.
just improv on the fly.
It is.
Have you seen the videos of him getting hammered?
Yeah,
before?
that's how he does Rick. He gets completely hammered, then he just does a lot of improv stuff.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think the thing is too is the fact that I think a lot of the episodes have that initial punch, and then after that, there's no real rewatch value in my opinion.
no.
The one thing that
That's a good way
I
to put
watched
it.
Pickle Rick, and I thought the action was really good in that episode.
I
But
like the
then
episode.
but then they made Pickle Rick, shirts, Pickle Rick pillows, Pickle Rick,
Why?
all kinds of Pickle Ricks.
Why Pickle Rick?
I was like, that episode wasn't even that good.
And it became a meme that it really shouldn't have become.
Is it?
Yeah, what part of that episode? The episode's just he turns into a pickle. He kills a bunch of rats, and then at the end of the episode, he goes on a 5-minute rant about how therapy is
Remember
done. And I'm like, how's that?
Rick and
how's that
Morty?
funny?
Before it was popular, when it was actually cool to watch
It was
Rick and
so
Morty.
I
popular.
will admit, I do like the theme song. I like.
There's
the
a lot
theme
of cool
song to Rick and
remixes
Morty.
of it.
Yeah.
Get Swifty.
See, I don't understand. See that too. Get Swifty was really popular when it came out, and that's not even that funny.
The Andromeda remix is cool.
Yeah, I actually did like the Andromeda remix.
Another show that I do, I'm gonna get a lot of heat. There's 2 shows that come to mind when I think of shows that I could live without, and that would be because I'm not really that big of a fan of shows that obviously a show can follow the same format for each episode, but when a show has episodes that follow the exact same formula. I don't like it, so like Phineas and Ferb comes to mind when I think of something like that. Fairly Odd Parents comes to mind when I think of something like that. Johnny Test, which is just kind of...
Probably why it's not on any of our lists.
Yeah, again. I mean, Phineas and Ferb, don't get me wrong, Phineas and Ferb was, like, good, but every episode was start out, I know what we're going to do today, where's Perry the Platypus, stuff happens, thing gets destroyed, there you are, Perry, Ferb says thing. Candace tries to bust them. Every single episode was just like that.
I agree.
The Fairly Odd Parents, Timmy has a problem, Timmy wishes to fix the problem, everything starts out good at first, everything goes to crap. Timmy originally can't usually fix the wish, and then something happens at the last second and he fixes the wish.
You can say
Timmy
that
learns
about
something.
a lot of shows.
Yeah.
But those shows, like...
It really stuck out.
Yeah.
And then Johnny Test, it's like Fairly Odd Parents, but except like Cosmo and Wanda are the twins.
I don't want Johnny Test in my mouth.
Johnny Test was...
I don't want to say the word.
Oh.
Johnny
I was like, what are you talking about?
Johnny Test was Johnny has problem, sisters have invention to help fix problem, thing starts out good.
But it was always like,
Thing
I want to
that
get a
sucks.
girl, was always like his thing.
Yeah, or he wants to be cool. Like, Timmy's was like, oh man, I sure don't like doing homework. I wish there was a way that I didn't have to do homework. And then Cosmo and Wanda are like, oh, here you go. And then
I remember
stuff happens.
the movies. Like, didn't they have more than one movie?
They had the Channel Chasers one where he goes into the TV.
Yeah,
and, like,
that was cool.
I did like that. Like, they had like the Dragon Ball Z parody in that. You know, but I will. Fairly Odd Parents' Dragon Ball Z parody was nowhere near as funny as Billy and Mandy's Dragon Ball Z parody. I think it was called Chicken Ball Z.
Really?
Oh, you'll have to
What?
see this. It's so funny. Like, Mandy goes Super Saiyan.
Yo,
Oh, it's hilarious.
Speaking of Grim Adventures of
Yeah.
Billy and Mandy, do you remember the episode where, it might have been one of their Halloween episodes, where the asteroid lands, and they had, who was the singer?
Is it Underfist? No, the Brain song.
Yes.
Solid.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I actually listened to that guy. I just don't remember, like, right now I'm having a brain fart.
Songs. Speaking of songs, how about we get into it real quick? Theme songs before we end the episode.
Theme song.
Right off, I'm gonna hit you with it real quick. Cameron, what was your favorite cartoon theme song?
Why you gotta do this to me?
I'm gonna make you improv it.
Regular show.
Oh my god, no. Regular Show goes nowhere near. I love Regular Show. I love everything about Regular Show, but the theme song is the only thing.
Funny, but Space Boost.
Adventure Times.
Adventure Times? Nolan.
Adventure Time.
Come on, grab your friends.
Go to very distant lands with Jake the dog and Finn the human. The fun will never end. It's adventure time.
Nice.
That's definitely it for me, because, like, I can't think of a theme song from a cartoon that I can just... It's just like that.
Oh
It's
man.
memorable.
I'm gonna be super biased on this one, but I really like My Life's Stage Robots.
You were
I can't even think
fan.
of what it sounds
Oh,
like.
5
to be honest.
o'clock, get a car to go blading at the skate park down by the mall. But my mom says I gotta prevent
I
hostile
can't.
aliens from annihilating us all.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, what was that
Um,
from?
My Life.
My Life,
Stage
yeah.
Robot. Danny Phantom's theme song definitely also comes to mind when I think of best theme.
Link in
Shout
the
out to
description.
Alchemic link in the description.
Definitely would recommend watching.
Yeah.
100% go watch.
Then he was just 14. His parents built a very strange machine designed to see the world unseen. He's gotta catch them all, 'cause he's Danny Phantom. That's a good one. Really, any song that usually comes out of SpongeBob is really good. It doesn't even have to be that theme song. Like
That's
Sweet.
probably my
Shout out to Sweet Victory. That's
Yes. Did
Can
you
we
hear
just
about
talk
the
about
NFL thing?
They took it F and
yeah.
Chat.
I watched
the Super Bowl? Like, we were like, it was so hyped because it was gonna be
and
that.
then Squidward goes,
Yeah.
Travis Scott, and then Sicko Mode.
Sicko Mode plays.
Like,
I
why?
literally turned off the. I literally
Yeah,
turned it off.
it was cool that SpongeBob showed up, but it was not cool that when SpongeBob showed up.
We got
It was a bait and switch so bad.
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
thing that they did was they did the trumpets at the beginning of Sweet Victory. It wasn't even Sweet
Such
Victory.
a tease.
Yeah,
Like,
and then
why?
Squidward's like, nah, here's Travis Scott, and then
Okay,
Travis
I'm
Scott
sorry,
comes out. That's such a good
Okay.
song.
Yes, no,
That's
no,
a good
right
one.
there.
I think what they were going for with that, though, was like getting the concurrent viewers in just that one point.
Mhm.
Because like I'm sure that made them look really good.
You know what? I saw a video. It was please forgive me if I say the name of this hockey team wrong. I think it's the Houston Stars.
The
I
Dallas
knew-
Stars.
Dallas Stars. They did a thing during their one of their half period thing. Intermissions. I was gonna say that, but I didn't think it was right. I don't watch hockey,
I do.
obviously. But
Religiously.
they did.
It's okay,
They
we can all be
did
wrong.
Sweet
Hey.
Victory,
It's
and
okay, like,
all of
sports
the SpongeBob characters were in Stars jerseys, and they did the whole song
That's
too.
legit.
They didn't just do the trumpets, and then that was it. That was the one time where I was a hockey fan.
For 2 minutes.
I was a hockey fan for a solid 2 minutes. Let's go Pens. What else? I think did you say your favorite theme song?
Gary, come home.
Gary, come home.
It's not a theme song.
Well, I thought you just said songs.
yeah, it's whatever.
Well,
I
if
can't
it's
think of-
theme
if it's
song,
theme
if
songs,
it is
go
theme
ahead.
songs, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob's,
Yeah.
SpongeBob's is good. I also am a very big fan. It's a very forgotten show. You guys probably don't know it. The Weekenders theme song was also really good. You might not remember that one, but the Weekenders had a pretty rockin' theme song. Shout out to Rocket Power for being the worst show Nickelodeon's produced in the past few decades.
I don't even know what that is.
Rocket Power? You don't know what Rocket Power is?
Me
I've
neither.
heard of it.
That's the one where they're the skateboarders and they
Oh,
do-
I was actually going to ask about that earlier. I didn't remember it.
yeah, they do extreme sports and it was trash. But
Dream Spouts.
extreme spouts.
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
Why isn't this a tier list video?
Cartoon. We'll do that.
We're
Next
really
week-
dating ourselves now.
Next
This
week-
trend's gonna be done soon.
Next week, when we do top 10s, after we do top 10s, we're all going to also have a tier list.
Can we
It's gonna be dated by then.
Yeah,
The trend's
I
gonna end.
We'll
Let's
just
wait 3 years.
Well,
and
yeah,
then
we'll
do
wait.
one.
We'll wait a bit. But next week, stay tuned for our Nickelodeon episode. We're going to be talking all about Nick. Nick when it started out. Nick when the Nicktoons came out. We're going to be talking about the Nicktoons as much as I would like to talk about stuff like Legend of the Hidden Temple. This is not a Legend of the Hidden Temple podcast. This is a cartoon
Could be.
podcast.
So,
Next
Could be.
week is the Nicktoons cast. So get your top 10 Nick shows of all time ready.
oh, it's gonna be a top 5. I got maybe 5 I know.
Get your top 10 Nicktoons ready. Get ready to talk about Nick. Can I get the Nickelodeon theme song real quick?
Please get your Reptar bars out.
Please, everyone, get your Reptar bars ready. So this is the end of the episode. Stay tuned next week. We're doing that Nick episode. My name is Mr.Shadly. This is Gav. This is ConsoleCommander. This is
Oh yeah, real quick plug. Put your top 10s for what you think your top 10 favorite cartoons were in the description.
Yep, put your top 10 in the description. If we like them, maybe we'll showcase them next week. We'll see which ones are the best, and we'll see which ones are the worst. We'll have to roast some of the really bad ones.
Yes.
If I see Planet Sheen anywhere near any of your top 10s,
Sheen SMS.
you're automatically getting your top 10 list deleted.
Reported.
You're
also
automatically getting blocked by the Tooncast if Planet Sheen's in your top 10. You'll never be allowed to watch us ever again.
We'll just stop the show.
If any of you put Planet
Please stop.
If any of you put Planet Sheen or Fanboy and Chum Chum in your top 10,
Oh, come on.
in your top 10s,
Whoa.
if you guys are if those are anywhere near your top 10s next week during our Nick show, you're off the podcast. I'll replace you with Alchemic Karibo.
Oh no.
Shout out Alchemic Karibo. Link in the description.
We got
Oh, his sub count's gonna go up so much.
Let's give a quick shout out to Christina Applegate.
What? Get that one song that sounds like Sheen singing.
Go No Sad No Bad by Killy.
You was waiting, I was chasing.
Oh, we gotta make that the theme song.
Wait, what's the next
I know where they
part?
got a
The
nitty
next-
rap.
Oh,
The next part's funny. You know the next
Stopping at the store, Gucci bracelet.
Oh my.
So stay tuned. Next week, Tooncast, same day, same people, hopefully. Unless if you put Planet Sheen or Fanboy and Tum Tum in your top 10, then you will not see any of us. Unless if we want to quit, then we'll purposely put Planet Sheen or Fanboy and Tum Tum in the top 10s. But please stay tuned next week. We're really glad you guys gave us a listen. We're really pumped to be doing this. All four of us just love cartoons. We love each other. We love God. I want to thank God for letting this podcast happen. So stay tuned next week, guys. Thanks for giving us a listen. This is the Tooncast, signing out.